Just like I'll tell you, I feel like Vergil knocks out Boots.
Vergil knocks him out.
I think.
How many rounds, Robert?
When he lands.
It's gonna be a great fight.
You go knockout or decision?
Knockout.
Like these guys should be talking. What's gonna happen when I touch him? Like make them.
Talk surrounding a potential showdown between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. continues to intensify as respected figures throughout boxing share their opinions on how the fight might play out. One of the strongest takes comes from trainer Robert Garcia, who believes Ortiz has everything needed to stop Ennis if they eventually meet in the ring. Garcia says his prediction isn't based solely on punching power, but also on Ortiz's relentless pressure, sharp timing, and his ability to gradually break opponents down.
Vergil knocks out Boots.
Vergil knocks him out. How many rounds, Robert?
When he lands.
It could be 1 to 12, any of those.
I think.
Why do you say that? No, I agree.
And Boots has heart, man. He's from Philadelphia. But I think that's also something that could not help him because he has heart and he'll fight. He has heart.
Garcia's confidence has generated plenty of discussion, but Ennis has no intention of letting those comments go unanswered. Boots quickly reminds fans that Ortiz has been knocked down before and has shown moments of vulnerability when placed under sustained pressure. Ennis also makes it clear that every top contender in the division is on his radar, insisting he is ready to prove himself against whoever stands across the ring.
Do you disagree with me when I say Fedora's great, Kelly great, these are champions, but that's the biggest fight right now at 154? Belts or no belts?
Which one? You said Vergil?
You versus Vergil, yeah.
To be honest, I think all those fights.
Garcia insists his opinion goes beyond simply supporting the fighter he trains. Instead, he echoes the same confidence that Vergil Ortiz Jr. has repeatedly expressed himself. Garcia firmly believes that if this fight becomes reality, Ortiz will be the one scoring the stoppage. His reasoning centers on Ortiz's devastating punching power, which he feels many analysts continue to underestimate. In Garcia's view, Ortiz doesn't just win rounds. He carries the kind of power capable of ending a fight before the final bell.
We were able to get those punches. I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil will finish him.
Yeah. Where does Ennis line up now in terms of I guess the pound for pound list, and based off that performance, how good is he?
Well, look, I think I guess it depends on who you ask. Pound for pound for me is a fighter that shows great skills, obviously, against the opponents that they're beating and the way they're beating.
Not everyone shares Garcia's outlook. Former world champion Shawn Porter strongly disagrees, saying he would confidently favor Ennis against either Sebastian Fundora or Vergil Ortiz Jr. Porter's opinion comes from first-hand experience competing with elite-level fighters, giving him insight that many analysts simply cannot match. He believes people often underestimate the enormous difference between talking about strategy and actually dealing with world-class talent inside the ring.
I still think that talent is so superior. Like he said, and I know this from my own experience. There's a different speed on the outside than when you actually get in the ring and do it. I was one of those guys that everybody felt like they could game plan for me, but they didn't understand how quick I actually was. They didn't understand how explosive I actually was able to get my way with just about everybody I was in the ring with, because on the outside looking in, it's just a little bit different, So I still think he beats Fundora. I still think he beats.
Taking a broader view of the matchup, Sean Zittel offers a balanced assessment of both fighters. He believes Ortiz deserves far more recognition for his hand speed, defensive awareness, and relentless aggression as he constantly searches for a finish. At the same time, Zittel views Ennis as the more complete boxer because of his ability to make adjustments during a fight, changing tactics whenever the situation demands instead of relying on only one style.
They both got good chins, but have both also shown vulnerability too. So they both hit hard as hell, and I think Ortiz's hand speed is underrated, and he really puts them together too. But Boots is more versatile and creative. Ortiz keeps his hands up on the high guard. He's explosive. He's ferocious. It's a great fight. I think I give the edge to Ennis though, just because he's a little more talented and a little bit more dynamic. But again, if you're Ortiz, you have every right to feel like you can get him because.
After breaking down each fighter's strengths, Zittel doesn't hesitate to reveal his prediction. He believes Ennis eventually wins by knockout. In his opinion, Boots' versatility will make the difference because once he begins adjusting throughout the fight, Ortiz's straightforward attacking style will become much easier to neutralize.
A little bit more speed than Xander Zayas too, so it's gonna be a great fight.
You go knockout or decision?
Discussing why the fight has yet to happen, Timothy Bradley rejects the suggestion that either boxer is avoiding the matchup. Instead, he believes the delay is purely the result of business decisions rather than fear. Bradley insists Ortiz remains eager to test himself and says waiting for the right opportunity should never be mistaken for a lack of confidence.
No, it's just money. That's all it is. It was just money. He wanted more money. His manager wanted more money for him because he knows, his manager knows what's going to happen to him. That's why he's trying to fill his pockets up. If he gonna get rid of that he trying to fill his pockets up. That's what it was. Okay, it wasn't ducking. No, I think Vergil just as cray-cray as Boots. He want to fight. There's no doubt.
Bradley also explained why Ortiz's trademark pressure may not be as effective as many people expect. He pointed to previous opponents who tried using similar tactics against Ennis but struggled because of Boots' exceptional counterpunching ability. According to Bradley, Ennis' composure in close exchanges and his ability to fire back with accurate counters remain two of his greatest strengths.
Ennis and the way he fights and how he comes forward and be aggressive, and you can watch Vergil, how he come forward and he be aggressive. Vergil's a little bit more techie, However, it's still the same thing coming off the jab. You know the jab is coming first. Boots one of the best counterpunchers in the game. That's why Boots is so damn dangerous. Because he get hit and then he's still landing at the same damn time. He punching in between punches. He slipping punches.
Bradley also believes Ennis' physical attributes are one of the most overlooked advantages in his arsenal. He argues those natural gifts allow Boots to manage distance and control exactly where the fight is contested. By comparison, Bradley views Ortiz as a fighter who generally relies on one primary approach, while Ennis possesses multiple layers to his overall game. Because of that versatility, Bradley says he would choose Ennis every single time.
Vergil uses the high guard as a primary defense. Boots punches through that, punches around that, set lateral traps up on him. Vergil's one-dimensional. Yes, one-dimensional, dog, for real. One dimension is not gonna beat a whirlwind of dimensions. It's not. Now, he might get lucky and land a hard shot and hurt him. And then maybe finish him, but we can sit here and we say, but what if.
Bradley's confidence stands out because so many analysts remain split on this matchup, debating whether power, experience, or technical ability will ultimately decide the outcome. Bradley doesn't see that same uncertainty. From his perspective, the answer is already clear. Rather than focusing on unanswered questions, he believes Ennis has enough advantages to separate himself once the action begins.
Boots is going to beat Ortiz, and he's going to beat him. It's going to be bad. I'm just letting y'all know. Some of y'all see that victory he put on, and you know, Ortiz, and he looked spectacular, and he did it against a quality opponent. However, Boots is a different type of animal, man. You know, this guy can be on his front foot, he can be on his back foot. This guy got punching power, hand speed. He got a ton of skill, counter-punching ability. I mean, Boots has all.
Teddy Atlas views this matchup as a collision between two fearless punchers who have complete confidence in their own abilities. He expects an intense battle fought at close range instead of a cautious tactical chess match. Atlas also stressed that Ortiz is a legitimate threat to everyone in the division, especially considering his recent performances. Time and again, Ortiz has shown he can completely change the course of a fight with one perfectly landed punch.
Two confident guys, you know, two guys with great heart. I mean, look, I say this, Vergil showed me a few fights ago that he had a dimension I didn't know he had. When he was just, you know, going through guys, knocking them out with body shots, sinking and destroying. I don't think I knew or anyone knew that he had the ability to use his legs and box.
Max Kellerman gives a slight edge to Jaron "Boots" Ennis, believing his athleticism and complete skill set make him the safer pick in such a dangerous contest. Lushawn Shady McCoy shares that same opinion, pointing to Ennis' overall advantages. Mike Coppinger, however, sees the matchup as much closer than many expect, arguing that Ortiz has consistently faced stronger opposition, making this one of the hardest fights in boxing to predict.
Taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
Especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favored?
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
I think he will be.
I think he's more talented. He's better. Looks better.
Yeah. I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much better.
Many believe that if Ennis edges out Ortiz in a close and competitive battle, it would further prove he belongs among boxing's elite. If he were to dominate the fight, however, his reputation would rise even higher and strengthen comparisons with the biggest names in the sport. Even so, Ortiz's success against proven competition remains a major factor that cannot be overlooked.
What we think he is, right? What we thought he was. But if Boots can show real separation between himself and a dude like Vergil Ortiz, then he's a ride.
But see, that's the real question. The question is, because Boots looks better, like he's slicker, more athletic, more talented, right? That's why we even talk about the comparison with the Crawford. The only thing is Vergil, he's fought better competition, right? And one thing about all sports, you got to go out there and play the game. You got to go out there and fight the fight. So we all love Boots because what he looks like, but that's the Vergil part, is like Vergil actually has fought some of the top.
Kellerman is particularly interested in watching how Ennis performs once he is forced into a truly difficult fight against elite opposition. While Boots' knockout power is already widely respected, Kellerman believes his full potential will only be revealed after overcoming sustained pressure and genuine adversity. In his eyes, Ortiz represents the ideal measuring stick for that challenge.
We know he has size, length, speed, technique,
and poisonous,
high
IQ,
all of that stuff, and punching power.
Yes, he does.
Both hands. We know he has all that. Now the question is, how does he respond to adversity? How does he respond to a tough fight? Does the gap between him and his opponent remain that wide as he fights top fighters?
Right.
That we need to know.
We have seen Vergil Ortiz face adversity. He got dropped against Sergey Bohachuk, came back, and it was a close fight. You could argue that Bohachuk would not fight. So I think Boots Ennis is more talented.
Chris Mannix refuses to make a firm prediction because he believes this matchup is as evenly matched as they come. If he absolutely had to choose a winner, he would lean slightly toward Ennis because of the stylistic advantages that make Boots such a dangerous fighter. Even then, Mannix cautions that Ortiz presents a unique challenge by combining legitimate punching power with polished boxing ability in a way Ennis has not yet fully experienced.
Right off the bat, if I had to pick one right now, I'd probably make Boots a slight favorite just because he seems to do really well with the style of Vergil Ortiz, but he's never fought anybody with the skill level, the power, all the things that Vergil Ortiz brings to the table. Look, I know what you're saying, that Vergil is more accomplished at 154. At the same time, Boots is far more accomplished at 147. Only one of those two fighters.
But they're not fighting at 47, Mannix.
Okay.
They're not fighting at 47.
Does it really matter, though? Only one of those two fighters.
Ignoring all the outside noise, both Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora reach the same conclusion. They believe this is the biggest fight American boxing can make right now. Very few domestic matchups generate this level of excitement, and both men understand exactly what is at stake. A victory for Vergil Ortiz Jr. would dramatically change the landscape of the entire division.
Backlash that Boots Ennis would face would be significant. People do not want to see these two guys in with other fighters. They don't want to. Who cares about the fact there's no belt on the line? These are the two best junior middleweights of the world. These are the two biggest stars in the junior middleweight division. This is the best fight that U.S. boxing can possibly make right now. There is no excuse whatsoever. Percentage points, split, ticket revenue, sponsorship, there is no excuse.
No one is surprised by Roy Jones Jr.'s prediction. He believes Ennis would eventually take control against Ortiz, but his praise extends beyond simply picking a winner. Jones views Boots as a rare talent capable of defining an entire generation rather than merely collecting victories. In his opinion, this showdown has everything required to become the signature fight of the division.
Ortiz against Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis will Vergil Ortiz right up. I promise you. and I'll bet anybody that thinks different. Vergil Ortiz is a great fighter, but Boots is a generational fighter, and there's a big difference between a world-class fighter and an elite fighter, and that's what Boots is.
Just lastly, do you think Ortiz wants to fight with Boots?
Yeah, I think he does, but I think the people around him don't want the fight, in my opinion. But listen, for the good of boxing, for the good of American boxing, that fight must happen. It must happen in Vegas, but that's going to be the...
Coach Breadman also believes Ortiz represents the toughest stylistic test available for Ennis. He agrees that Boots possesses greater speed and superior athletic ability, but he focuses on a few technical habits that could become costly. Breadman points to Ennis occasionally loading up on his punches instead of staying compact, along with moments where he allows his hands to drop lower than they should.
This is Vergil Ortiz. That's my honest opinion. Vergil Ortiz. Boots got them long, kind of like gangly arms, right? And sometimes he load up a little bit, and Vergil Ortiz punch short and compact, right in the mid-range on the inside, right where Boots like it. And in exchanges, Vergil Ortiz, I don't think he's as fast as Boots for like combinations of...
Continuing his technical breakdown, Breadman identified another area where Ennis can still improve. He pointed to the hook that caught Boots in his previous fight as an example of a defensive mistake that still needs tightening up. Even so, he doesn't believe that same flaw would determine the outcome against Ortiz, explaining that Vergil typically attacks within a disciplined system rather than depending on wild or unpredictable openings.
That if Boots is throwing single shots, that Vergil's short, compact punches can get there. Because one thing Vergil don't play like Boots play. Boots sometimes put his hands down, he lean back, he do all kinds of stuff.
Roll the shots.
Yeah, Boots does a lot of stuff where Vergil kind of just stays in one place and just fires right from where he's at. So in my opinion, I still think Boots can beat Vergil, but I do look at that fight and say Boots got to really be on his A game. He cannot be doing all of that kind of stuff where that boy's just firing right from the point of...
No matter who has their hand raised in victory, Ennis versus Ortiz feels like the fight that could finally answer the biggest questions surrounding both careers. This is far more than another name on either fighter's resume. It's the kind of matchup that reveals exactly where each man belongs among boxing's elite. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest boxing news and analysis.